What's going on, guys? Mangumson here. So I want to talk to you guys today about the 75% rule. The 75% rule applies to the portal, right? So this should get better as time goes on. But what I do want is I want you guys to play the way that you kinda want to play. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so when it comes to the portal activity, they've harped on platinum grade and B plus and silver tiers and all this. They got a lot of this verbiage in the 12, right? They're really trying to dial in a lot of the verbiage. So let's look at what I'm talking about, the 75% rule. When you are geared up, when you're all geared up and ready to go into an activity, you're going to get this score, this forecast. This is your potential score for what you're trying to do. As you can see, my power right now is 375, and that's because I have on a non-featured item. So, what happens when I do put on a featured item? Let's just put that on for example. Go back to the portal. Our forecast went up a lot. So what I want to tell you is that it's the 75% rule applies to two weapons, right? Or one piece of armor. I know when I say one piece of armor, we don't get 75% no more, but roughly you're going to be using all new armor sets for the most part, right? For the most part. But when it comes to the weapons, we can all agree that the feature weapons suck. Okay, so the artifact and the feature weapons don't kind of line up. So you kind of need to flex that around a little bit. Right now, what you're seeing is besides the subclass, is the best build in the game. It's already on the channel. Go ahead and check that out. But if we take off a featured piece of gear, right? We're going to take off the armor. We put a new one on. Go back to the portal. We can see that our score drops down significantly. Now, why do I say the weapons and the armor? So I want to show you what I mean when I'm saying it. And what we lose here in the projected forecast is when we change a piece of armor, we lose 20%. We lose 20%. How do I know that it's 20%? If I was to customize this, let's see, it's can't customize that one. But let's go here. We're seeing. Alright, there's an easier way. Should be. There we go. I really feel like sometimes it's a little hard to navigate with the ins and outs of the thing. And so projected forecast is C plus, right? We see that. And then we go in here and we activate. Where's having to navigate this? All right, so you see how much plus 20 is. Plus 20. We'll put on one, it gives us that big old boost. And we'll take it off. So C plus 20 puts us at a B plus. A little sliver past that little node, right? Now we put this back on. Come back in here. We're in customize still. And we can see that it even gave us a little bit more past that sliver. Like just a little bit more, maybe like plus 5, right? So you can see that one piece of armor changes it significantly. Now, what happens when we do a weapon? So I put on a new weapon. Let's see. Let's put on this, right? We can look at it. Takes away that little 5, that little 10 or 5 that it gave us. And then we put on a different one. Where's it at? I'm usually rocking all featured gear, and it's a pain in the butt to make builds about it. So we'll equip that. Go back to the portal. You can see that we lost that, right? So we lost that plus 20. Let's go in here and customize. Let's look at it, right? So the margin for error here of how much is giving you the plus 20, plus 15, plus 5 is very incremental. It's very noticeable to the point to where you can kind of predict what you're doing and how you can make up for it. But an armor piece is significant. I've said it before in my other videos. Armor is everything. They really want you to double down on the armor, on wearing the new armor. They want you to get rid of the old armor. The weapons, it's harder to do. So when you go into building or going into an activity for whatever you're trying to do, for the most part, as you can see, if you're running all new armor and then you change two weapons, you should be okay to make up for that with the deltas. So the score is going to be about your power level, about the featured gear with the blue, non-featured gear, featured gear, and the featured armor. So we take all that in its totality. I know I don't like it, you don't like it, no one likes it, but that's what we're at. I'm bringing you the news. I don't make the weather. All right. So you can change up incremental things when it comes to weapons. Armor, bigger deal. So if we're talking about going in with a prismatic build and you want to use your prismatic subclass or what a class item, we now know, everyone now knows that you're watching this, that we have to be at max power, our max equip power. Hopefully they change this whole thing around, but with the whatever tangent. So we want to be at our max power that we can be at. For you, it may be different. And if we're rocking prismatic, right? If this was at 400, I think it would be a little less punishing, because the 200 on the mark is really like hurting it. I want to say it's bringing me down a lot, and I ain't got 7,000 cores to put into it for the example of this video. But we know underpowered, not featured, it's going to hurt us significantly. If it was at 400, again, the penalty may not be as much. It may be less than what it's doing. Is my power level is a big deal here. I can't stress how much this whole thing kind of works off of the power level grind. So, all right, so this all alludes to if we equip something. Let's put it on. So we equip something, we go back to the portal, we got our projected forecast. We're at 400 and we want to get better rewards. So what we want to shoot for is potentially plus 4s, not plus 4s, but we want to get tier 4 engrams, potentially tier 5s. So if we go into this projected activity, if we were wearing all featured stuff and everything, and then the modifiers all lined up, right now I think it has my settings for customized, so it's not really showing the best. We're gonna get what we want is that B plus. Everyone talks about the B plus thing, and then you get the extra little push at the end to get you an A, right? But in these higher activities, everybody's got to be running on all cylinders. Everybody's got to be on the same page and running a competent build. So I want you to run a competent build, And I want you to use the 75% rule. I want you to be max power. I want you to either use the best build in the game. This one right here covers everything. All right, it's on the channel, covers everything. Or you can rock two different weapons that are not featured, or you can rock like one unfeatured, one class item. Like you're gonna change those two things out. You know what I mean? You're gonna change only those two things out. And you can't go wrong with shoreline dissonance or the bloom slang. Who makes these names? The boom slang, or the Aurora Dawn. Aurora Dawn's been good. You can freeze people. This right here is a goated combination. If you've used it with Mint Retrograde, you get Mint Retrograde ammo back. You stun overload champions. It's good. I'm giving you free knowledge here. Take it. Change only those two things out. Everything else needs to be featured gear. There should be no reason why you're not running featured gear. There should be no reason why. If you still rocking old gear, I don't know what you're doing. You're throwing. You're throwing. You're literally throwing. And if you wanted to, let's say the prismatic example is only because people want to run prismatic and they want to run their exotic class item with it. That's kind of like the whole get down with it, that you want to do the combination of the prismatic and everything. But if you're rocking a whole nother build, some whole other thing, then still understand that even if you change some stuff up and you swap it out and you're using some non-featured gear, that here's what it's going to do. Let's look at it. You know, you can still do it, but you can't be changing everything in your entire build. You can't not. You know what I'm trying to say. You shouldn't be going into an activity where your reward is the crappiest. You're only hurting yourself. Everybody else in the matchmaking or whatever, or solo, you do a solo op, you're throwing for yourself. You go in here, it's only going to affect you. It's not affecting everybody else. Everybody else is going to get what they going to get with their projected rewards or whatever. And if it does affect other people, then you're hurting the team. That's point blank. You're just hurting the team. You want to be at as high multiplier as you possibly can in order to do what you need to do. And I know that these cores, they're like, oh, I got all these cores to be bringing stuff up from 10 to 400. If you already at power level 400 or 350 to 400, and you're talking about that you don't have the unstable cores to make a new build or something, to bring up something to power. First off, you're infusing too much. We've had this issue before with enhancement cores and upgrade modules. You're infusing too much. You need to go look at the best build in the game, use the tech stack armor, do that. But what you need to do is you need to use your main build, and that's what the best build in the game is for, is to give you a main base build, so you're not wasting as many of these in unstable cores, and you have stuff to infuse into for free. But also, you're doing too much. Like, you're adding too many vegetables to the meat, right? If you cook, you know what I'm talking about. You're just adding too many vegetables to it, and you're doing too much. You need to hone it in, and that's probably why your guardian rank is at 8 or 7. You're not honing it in. You're not focusing on the tasks. And Destiny, until the whole recent making the game easier for casuals, has been a focused grind. It's always been a grind. They took the grind away, a lot of us left. They brought the grind back, a lot of us came back. That's a whole nother tangent for a whole nother thing. But you have to hone in on what you're trying to be good at. You're trying to be good at strand, you're trying to be good at arc, you need to hone in on that. They have some things that dabble in almost everything when it comes to what you're trying to dabble into. You see people out there playing art. It ain't nowhere on the artifact. You see people out there doing it. You see people out there rocking solar steel when it's crappy. I can probably count on one hand how many times I've seen people with a stasis titan. It just don't happen. How many people are not uh who are not taking off Starfire Protocol? You can't say that you're lacking in like build diversity. It's you can do whatever you want, but you got to understand that you can't do it all. You have to focus in on something. The game is saying I want you to play this way, and you trying to do a whole nother thing, and that ain't where it's supposed to go. Really got to take this helmet off while I'm looking at this dude. I gotta take that helmet off. Just look goofy. I like the helmet. It just looks goofy. Um, but you doing something completely different than what everybody else is doing. That's why your guardian rank is lacking. That's why you ain't trying to figure out how to get up to guardian rank 9. Guardian rank 9 should be in my opinion, should be the standard. But 7 and 8 more than likely is gonna. I think 8 may be the standard now, because to get to 9 is it's kind of a it's kind of a a trek. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. It's kind of a trek. Stop trying to do something else to go against the grain, and you got to go with the grain. It's that easy. Mm, that coffee's just right. There's an easier way to play the game. There's an easy way to play. You can go with. I want to bring this last point up because this is already going long enough, and it's going in some type of. I don't like going in circles, but I usually do. But you can play with two different things. This is a build that I regularly run. It ain't completely customized yet, but this is a build I regularly run. I like Fair Judgment. It's very good. Reminds me of Heraldic Sea. Reminds me of it. Nothing can replace Heraldic Sea. But I can use Fair Judgment, use the Pyrolithic Spiral. I got my two weapons that are different: Anti Barrier, Overload, Unstoppable. Got that whole thing down. And I'm rocking it with the Icefall Mantle. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. The build is okay. It's not the best. I don't think I have the guns, the appropriate guns for everything that I want to do, but it's okay. Now, this build gets me through content. But again, I'm using the 75% rule. Keep that in mind. Change two things out or one of these. Use everything else that is featured. And just in case, I don't know if you was wondering it, but I'm just throw it out there. If you was wondering why this build isn't the best, it's not supposed to go with tech set. It's supposed to go with the Last Disciple set. It's because I don't benefit from tech set when using this. But anyway, tech set's my best set so far. That's why it's on there. Anyway, I'm done with this. Like, share, and subscribe. Get in where you fit in, and I will see you in the next one.